All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. First off, I would like to welcome everyone for our pre-trip seminar for our May Umrah trip, inshallah, during Memorial Day weekend. And today we will be covering a few things. The first thing will be introducing the group leaders for the trip. We will go over the calendar. We will go over Nuzuk, and we will go over the Zamzam policies at the end. And then, inshallah, we will also be opening it up for a Q&A session, inshallah. So I want to make sure everyone recognizes me. So let me put myself on camera. So my name is Harun Hassan, inshallah. I will be with you during your trip for May for Umrah, inshallah, and I will be assisting you throughout the journey. I will be flying with you, inshallah, and I will be there with you, assisting you with anything you may need help with. We also have Sister Rahima with us. If you would like to quickly introduce yourself, inshallah, so we can get started with the meeting.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. I am I like to call myself the resident young person, which means I get to deal with a lot of the technology needs and things like that you'll have throughout the trip, inshallah. So I look forward to discussing that shortly.
Inshallah. Thank you, Sister Rahima. So let's get to our trip schedule. So we are departing from JFK International Terminal 1. We are flying out with Saudi Airline. So we will be leaving from Terminal 1 at approximately 2 p.m. will be our departure time for the flight, inshallah. So we are meeting at the airport at 10 a.m. in the morning, where we will come and inshallah link up together. I will give you a couple of instructions, and then from there, inshallah, you will go ahead, you will check in, and then the second time where we will meet together, inshallah, will be Medina Airport. A few people in the group, they are going to take on arrival visa, so I will be the one assisting you with that, inshallah. So once we get to Jeddah Airport, I will go ahead and assist any of the people that are requiring a on-arrival visa. Once we get to Jeddah Airport on the 28th, we arrive there approximately 9:30, 10 a.m. in the morning. By the time we clear immigration, it will be approximately 11:30, and you do need to collect your luggage and drop it off again. There is a location right next to where the luggage carousel is, where you collect your luggages. They have an area where you can drop off your luggages. So once you go and inshallah drop off your luggages, just wait for me by the luggage belt or the luggage carousel, where we will link up again, inshallah, and then you will have some time at the airport to go ahead and exchange some money, or maybe you need to buy a SIM card, a local SIM card. So we will have some time for that. And inshallah, please cross security again around, I would say like 2 p.m. Our flight is at 4:30 for Medina. So inshallah, we will be flying out from Jeddah to Medina. Once we arrive in Medina, inshallah, we will, where you collect the luggages, that's where you will be waiting for me. We all collect our luggages, inshallah, and we all walk out together. We will be moving straight to our hotel. Once everyone is settled in, I would like to do a walking tour. So once, inshallah, hopefully we can make it at least for Isha prayer, if not Maghrib and Isha both. So once we get to the hotel, I want to make sure we can have a walking tour after Isha prayer. The walking tour does take about approximately half an hour, 45 minutes. Where we'll be covering a couple of sites near Masjid Nawabi. I will be showing you where the men can go in for the salam. I will be showing for the men and women where they can go and get online for Riyazul Jannah. And when you get online for Riyazul Jannah, of course, Sister Rahima will also be covering how to get the permits and where to get them from. So you can do that once in your journey where you go to Riyazul Jannah. We are staying very close to Haram. It will take you about, once you exit the hotel, it will take you less than 30 seconds to walk into the gates of Haram. We are very close to the women's gate. meaning they have very limited entrances for women. So this is one of the entrances which is very close for the women. You can go inside and inshallah pray in Masjid Nawawi. So we are expecting to have our historical tour on the 30th. We tend to do them early in the morning, but I have seen, sometimes late in the evening hours work out well as well too. So sometimes we do change these timings. But inshallah, we will inform you at least a day before if we end up changing the timing. But as of right now, we are scheduled for after breakfast. So once you do your breakfast in the hotel, we will inshallah all meet in the lobby approximately around 8 o'clock, 8:15, and then the tour takes about 2.5 3 hours. We will take a historical tour of Medina, and we will come back inshallah. Then you can catch your remaining prayers. We do get back to the hotel before Zuhr prayer. And then, inshallah, on the 31st, we will leave for Jeddah. We will leave for Makkah, and we are performing our Umrah on the same day. My goal is to, inshallah, depart approximately 11 a.m. in the morning. That is one of the most efficient times to leave, so we can get to Makkah approximately around like 4:30 time. And I would like to get our Umrah done early so you can have some rest. Our Makkah historical tour is scheduled for morning, but it is tough to do it in the morning, especially the night before if you do Umrah. So that's why I want to make sure we can get our Umrah done early and we can get some rest, catch Fajr, catch breakfast. And most probably we will move this tour to after Zohar. So this way you have sufficient time to actually go ahead and rest before we go on this historical tour. Once you're done with the historical tour, inshallah, then the following day is Friday. So please catch Jummah prayer in Masjid al-Haram. So please go catch it in Haram. And then also, even though we are departing on the 3rd, it's an early morning flight. We do pay for the night of the 2nd, meaning your hotel is paid all the way till the 3rd. So we will inshallah check out approximately 12:30 to 1 a.m. in the morning on the 3rd, and we will depart to Jeddah airport inshallah. And once we arrive at Jeddah airport, as per we will cover a little bit more information regarding the Zamzam later on in the seminar, but we will get to the airport, we will go ahead, collect some Zamzam, and then we will go ahead proceed to check in, and from there inshallah we'll make our journey back home to the US. So without any further ado, I would like to hand it over to Sister Rahima so she can cover the Nusuk application.
Yeah, so we spoke a little bit about the fact that we will have some technology needs for this trip, most specifically in order to access the Roda in Medina, and then also attached to the performance of Umrah in Mecca is the need for the Nusuk app. So this is an app which is both available on the App Store and Google Play Store, and it does require an internet connection. So you can either run it on Wi-Fi or on a data connection. However, I've been asked before if you can just use the hotel Wi-Fi and make that work. The answer is not a simple one, because you can use, while you're in the hotel, yes, you can use the hotel Wi-Fi, but as soon as you leave the hotel, you're no longer connected. And so if your app gets disconnected, then in order to make it work, you'd have to go all the way back to the hotel. Now, in order to bypass a situation like that, you have really two options. One is to carry a unlocked phone with data roaming on it, and the way you'd make sure that your phone has data roaming is that from today, or from now, you can call your carrier, your local US carrier, and make sure that you have data roaming and that you have coverage in Saudi Arabia, either as part of your plan or as an additional fee that you can have added on. The other option is when you get to Saudi Arabia, you can buy a local SIM with working data on it. You do want to make sure that your device is unlocked so that it does accept a Saudi local SIM. And that's another great way to make sure you have high-speed data with you, high-speed internet throughout the trip. So if you're somebody who needs to be connected all the time, that's definitely a great option as well. So knowing that you need an internet connection, you can kind of go forward with the best option for yourself. The Nusuk app is such that you would need an account for yourself and for each of your family members or each of the people in your party. And the requirement for signing up for Nusuk does require that you have a unique phone number and a unique email address for each account. So what I mean by unique is that you cannot use the same phone number that someone else has already used to sign up on, right? So if you have your own phone number and your own email address, that's great. Now, a lot of the time the question comes up is, I have kids, can they use my phone number? So if you try to create an account with a phone number that an account has already been created with, it honestly just won't let you. It'll, you'll get an error message saying this phone number is already associated with another account. So you'd have to use a third person's phone number or something like that. But the good news is that they really just need you to enter a phone number to make the account. They're not calling that phone number and they're not texting that phone number. So you don't need access to it all the time. So it's more than okay to, see if you can use a home phone number or someone else's phone number and make it work like that. However, the thing that is extremely important that you do have access to is the email address. And the reason why you need an email address that you can actually check and you can actually open and you're getting emails on, not one that, you've lost the password to, or you're not able to sign in, or it's so full that it's not getting emails anymore or anything like that. The reason why that's important is because when you try to log in, you're going to be sent a one-time passcode, which is a 4-digit PIN. So when you try to sign into your Nusuk app, it'll say, we've sent you a one-time passcode to this email, the email that you've signed up on. You go to that email, you open up the email from Nusuk, and you get a 4-digit PIN. You take that 4-digit PIN and you plug it into your app, and then that's how you'd sign in. So you can understand why there'd be lots of issues if you're not able to actually access that email address. So very, very important that you're signing up on an email address that's active and you have access to it. Other to that, you need some personal information, the information that you obviously already have, your passport number, visa number, things like personal information like your date of birth, etc. And then from there, you will be signed in, and then all you have to do is go ahead and make a permit. All of the instructions have been, given step by step, both in a video form and as a step-by-step tutorial that are that you can easily see in our group chat. They've been sent over as media in the group chat. So please, after the seminar or watching the recording, do go over and check those resources and follow step by step, so that way you're able to make your account. And then once your account is made, you're able to actually make the permit, both for Medina and for Mecca, both for the Roda and for Umrah. Now, I will say this, that the appointments roll out on a weekly basis, so you might not be seeing the permit for the Roda just yet, but that just means that you need to keep checking it constantly until they open them up, and you want to get one as soon as you can, as soon as possible, because they're extremely limited, and once they run out, they've run out. So you want to make sure that you are keeping on top of that, and also that you are taking a permit for such a time that works best for you and works best with the schedule. So you obviously have the schedule on screen, and that'll also be shared in the group chat. And then you also, your own habits. When if you're somebody who needs to sleep through the night, definitely don't take a 2 a.m. permit, because you might not make it there on time. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind when scheduling your permit is the fact that it is in a 24-hour format. So many people get confused the first time using this app. So when you go to schedule your permit, you will see, they have from 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, like that. And then once you pass 12 o'clock, it'll go into, 12 to 14, 14 to 16, etc. And so a lot of times people will have a AM slot and confuse it for a PM slot, right? They'll have a 2 a.m. slot, but they think it's a 2 p.m. slot. However, it is in 24-hour format, so there is no such thing as a 2 p.m. slot. It would actually be a 1400 slot. So just be mindful of that as well. And other to that, it's super important that you make your appointments on time. Like Brother Harun mentioned, he will be taking everyone around, for the walking tour and showing where to line up for the Roda. So in Medina, it's super important that you actually go on time. I would suggest going about half an hour early to that lineup spot, so that you're ready with your permit and ready to be signed in and allowed in. It's a lot less restrictive in Makkah, where you can take out multiple permits and you can go at different times. Sometimes they're not even checking permits, and it's very easy to get in so long as you're in ihram. But in Medina, you really only have one opportunity to go, because once you take out a permit, your account will not be allowed to take out another permit for another 45 days. So you want to make sure that you make that appointment on time, and you're able to go in and do everything very nicely. Other to those two common misconception that people have, especially the brothers, is about the salam.
there's a certain door for the on the brother side that they can go in to give salam, and that is open for the brothers all the time without a permit. And I think Brother Harun can mention a little bit more about that. And I know you had something else you wanted to mention, brother.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair, Sister Rahima. So, yes, for the salam for the brothers, I will show you exactly where to enter in from, inshallah, when we do the walking tour. You are able to go at any time you want. My personal favorite time is to actually go around like 11, 12 o'clock. The later you go at night, the fewer people are over there. The closer you go to prayer timings, the more people are trying to do salam. So, most of the people, the mentality is, like right before prayer or right after prayer. So if you even give it like an hour, hour and a half after each prayer, like you will not find as much rush. For the women, they are not able to go through Baba Salam and give their salam. They will either give it from outside, or they will go to Riyazul Jannah or the Noble Roda, which you will be required to have a permit for in order to go and visit. When it comes to the timings, what we have seen throughout the Umrah season is they usually have permit hours available for the women after Isha all the way till midnight. And for the men, they have it from midnight till Fajr, and then after Zohar all the way till Isha. So there are more time slot for the men. That's why it's so important that the women they take out their permits as soon as they become available. I'm not expecting these permits to become available all the way till the coming Friday on the 26th before we leave. So far, the permits are available till the Saturday on the 27th, which does not apply to us. And for the Umrah, even though it's not as restrictive, but as we're getting information on the ground, it's highly probable that they may stop our bus to make sure we all have permits before we enter into Makkah. So it's very important that majority of us have our nuzuk activated and the permits for Umrah actually taken for the first. So the permits are open all the way till the 4th of June. So our date is valid, inshallah, not for the first, sorry, for the 31st. The permits are already open, and they're pretty much available throughout the entire time. I would say take out any permit for the evening hours. So anything after like 6 p.m., whatever you find, just take it. They're not as restrictive in Makkah as they are in Medina, where they actually want you to show up for the time you actually took the permit out for. In Makkah, as long as you have a close enough time, you should be fine. And the other thing is, as a group, inshallah, we will be performing a Umrah. If you have done Umrah before, you are more than welcome to go on your own time. I do like to go do the Umrah as per the group situation. So if I see the entire group is, they're good to go, they don't need any rest, they're okay to go perform their Umrah. As soon as we get there, after I have everyone settled into their rooms, I still need about 15-20 minutes to settle myself in after everyone's done. Then after that, inshallah, I will go ahead and announce, like a time so we can all go and perform our Umrah. And if majority of the group is looking tired, I like to give them extra time, sometimes a couple of hours, so you're all rested up, inshallah, so you can perform your Umrah. I am not expecting too much rush to be there, both in Makkah or in Medina. I'm expecting it to be fairly empty in this trip, inshallah. Hopefully, we're able to perform all the ibadat we're trying to do, inshallah, without any issues. Keep in mind that when for the women, it's a little bit easier when they're entering into Haram. Especially to go do Umrah, they don't really, they don't really know whether you're in Ihram or not. But for the men, as long as they see you in Ihram, they usually don't even check the permits. So since the pandemic and since this whole situation started with the permit, I have only shown my permit maybe like 3 to 4 times out of the 14, 15 trips that I've done with the groups. So just keep that in mind. It's good to have a permit, of course, but they're not as restrictive on the time. I've even seen some people having a time for like 2 days after, and they just show that and get in. So, but just make sure you have your Nuzuk app activated and take out a permit for the 31st. We will post these instructions, inshallah, in the group as well. I do want to cover the last day, which is when we get to the airport at Jeddah. They will check your. This is what they were doing in Ramadan. they were checking the Umrah permits on Nuzuk, and they were selling the Zamzam afterwards. In the past, we were able to just go purchase the Zamzam for the entire group and just distribute it to everyone, but that has not been working for us anymore. So you will have to pick up the Zamzam once we get to Jeddah airport, inshallah, on your own, unfortunately. But we will be there with you, inshallah. I will be on this trip and I will guide you, inshallah. We will all go as a group. But people do need to get their Zamzam individually, unfortunately. If I'm able to get it as a group, inshallah, I will go ahead and grab it. But I just want everyone to be prepared for that too. The Zamzam is not expensive at the airport. They charge about 8.5 reals, which is a couple of dollars. I'm not worried about the price. I'm more worried about how you need to obtain the Zamzam, which means you need to have a Umrah permit, which was already used, and you just show that, and they will go ahead and sell you the Zamzam. I know a few people joined in. I just want to put in a reminder that this meeting is recorded, and inshallah, we will have the recording available either by tonight or by tomorrow morning, inshallah. So without any further ado, I would like to open it up for Q&A.